Okay, in this worksheet, we're going to talk about calculating and analyzing a person's individual personal net worth. So again, we're going to utilize a spreadsheet, some information from a previous course of mine. Here's a balance sheet of Jan and John Smith. So let's see how we might incorporate that into this. Again, this is really just a balance sheet. So we want to devise and enter the data. So again, from that balance sheet, I've entered the data. They have about $2,225 of liquid assets, $5,750 worth of long-term assets. They also have personal assets total about $139,200. So their total asset base is $147,175. And again, there's lots of places that put data in here. So, if you do happen to have something that's a little strange, you don't know how to segment it, you can always just put it in a place and it will, obviously, it will be added up. On the liability side, entering the liabilities, again, I had to do a little adding and subtracting here to get things to work exactly right. But I ended up with $9,900 roughly of consumer debt. Installment debt or long-term debt was about $95,000. So total debt was $105,755. So net worth is total debt or total equity or total assets $147,175 minus total debt. So net worth is $41,000. So again, if we looked at, I think there's a thought there was a graph here. There's no graph. But we could graph that if you wanted to and input the segments so you could see what proportion of your wealth comes from certain components, if you will. So in this case, 41,420 is their personal net worth. What that means is that if they sold everything on this left-hand side and paid off everything they owed on the other side, that's how much they would have to live on for the rest of their life. So this is really a sort of a retirement question. This is the number you're sweeping for and swinging for, when you think about retirement. You want to maximize your net worth when you get to retirement. So that means we need to get rid of purchase assets that grow in value, and of course not have any debt, or minimize the amount of debt that we have. For most of us, one of our challenges is we have something called a student loan. If you have a student loan, what is the asset over here that offsets it? I mean, in this case, they have a $92,000 mortgage, but the house is worth $120,000. So that contribution to net worth is the difference between those. So it's roughly $38,000, right? 20 plus 8, sorry. $28,000 of the $41,000 is what is the contribution of the equity in their home. But for student loans, there's no point over here. There's no place over here. So most people in college that are borrowing to better their lives are going to have very low net worths until they ultimately get that all paid off. Now, when that gets paid off, they're going to have a boost, obviously, in the net worth of their investment program. So that's essentially how you calculate and some of the analysis that you can do with personal net worth.